Today is the 23rd of July 2024. This will be our fourth video. So we started looking again at graphs. So I took you back to the basis, and I showed you the axis, some of the common graphs like x equals 1, x equals 4, y equals 0, x equals 0, those kind of stuff. And I showed you the negative as well. And then we did some plotting, okay? And then we did another graph that opens upwards. And then I had a short break. So guess today when I started again, I gave you a graph that opened upwards, okay? I said that if the x squared, the quadratic parabola graph, if the x squared is positive, then it's all going to open upward. But if it's negative, then it's going to open downward. So today we are going to look at the downward curve, the downward parabola, okay? Because I wanted to bring that last lesson, but because we have not been here some few days, I thought I'll bring that one, the upward one, use it as a recap, and then do the downward one as well. Okay, so I'll do this downward one, and then we'll look at another one, and then we'll go on from there. Okay, now as I said, watch last video for recap. Last video we drew the graph 2x squared minus 5x, and because the x squared is positive, here is plus 2. Okay, it means that it's going to open upward. The turning point will be the minimum point. Okay, it will have a minimum point. It's going to open upwards, and we use it to solve questions. Now, our starter today, we'll look at adding standard form. Okay, we've done questions like this several times, so I thought I'll just throw it in there. Okay, so here you can decide to change the standard form into whole numbers, convert them, add, and then add them, and then change the back. So this is what I did at the first part. So you can have 5 times 10 to the power 2. That is a standard form, because you can have it as 5.0 plus 3.0 times 10 to the power 3. So this is 10 to the power 2, and that's 10 to the power 3. Okay, so here, this one is 10 to the power plus 2, so I can write 5 and then 1, 2, so it becomes 500. 3 times 10 to the power 3, so I'll write 3.0. 1, 2, 3. I'll move the decimal places 3 times. When I finish, I'll add. So 500 plus 3,000 will give me 3,500. And then I'll convert back. So I have 1, 2, 3. So 3.5 times 10 to the power 3. Okay, so you can do that, or you can convert one of the 10, 10 to the power, this into the same. So if I convert 5 times 10 to the power 3, so that I can have 10 to the power 3 here, then I have 0.5 times 10 to the power 3. So this is the same as that. Guess that this one is in a standard form. This one is not. Please follow my notes/script here. Now, this is already 3.0. So now I can add the whole numbers part. And then because I have 10 to the power 3, I keep that the same. So 0.5 times 3 will give me 3.5 times 10 to the power 3, because there's a 10 to the power 3 here, and this is 10 to the power 3. We are adding, so we don't add the powers. We guess it's like 0.5a plus 3a. So you keep the a out, and then you add 3.5. You have 3.5a. So this is the same concept. So this is the same concept we use here. So you can do it this way, or you do it that way. Now, today we are going to look at a parabola that opens downward. Okay, now what graph did I do? We've already seen this graph, y equals x squared. And when it was x squared, it opened upward because the x squared is positive. Today is negative. Okay, the same graph. So we are going to use the same interval, -3 all the way to 3, and use that to plot our graph. Okay, because I wanted to show you, okay, because at times when you say it, it's difficult to grasp. But if you do it and you show it, so in a few video back, 2 videos, we've done y equals x squared. So we are going to look at y equals minus x squared. So x is what? -3 to 3. Okay, here they said complete the table, so please complete the table. They might give you a table and make some out, or they might give you the intervals and then ask you to fill the rest in. So you can do that. Okay, -3, you can do x squared and then you do minus x squared, or you can straight away do minus x squared. So x squared is 9, the negate, and then you negate it, which is -9. X squared is 4, negate it, and it will give you -4. X squared is 1, negate it will give you -1. Okay. X squared is 0, if you negate it you get 0. X squared is 1, negative of that will be -1. X squared is 4, negative of that will be what? -4. X squared is 9, negative of that is -9. So straight away, that is your x value. Y equals x squared minus x squared. So this is your y value. So this is what you are going to use to plot the graph. These are the coordinates. Okay, so I've written the coordinate out. when x is minus 3, y is minus 9. X is minus 2, y is minus 4. X is minus 1 from the table, y is minus 1. X is 0, y is 0. X is 1, y is 1. X is 2, y is 2. X is 3, y is 3. Now, I just want to remind you, okay, I'm just having a funny thought here, okay. This coordinates, the x comes first, okay. The x comes first, followed by the y. It's not the y before x. If you are plotting a graph, it's the x coordinate first and the y coordinates, okay? Because these are questions you get asked at times. So even though I've done a lot of video, some people today might be their first time. But we've dealt with this in the beginning. So instead of me repeating myself, just start from the beginning. If you are writing an exam, even next year, and you have 6 weeks holidays, go back and watch, okay? Just go back and watch. Ignore my voice sometimes and just follow the notes, and you will learn a lot. I've put a lot of materials. You will learn a lot. I can trust you. Last year we didn't have a lot of videos, okay, but this year I have put out a lot of videos within a year. So you have a lot and you don't have any excuse. And please follow my notes, okay, and my script. Okay, it's my own notes. It's not for anybody. Now, so we are going to plot the coordinates. And we'll find out that it opened downwards, which I've done, okay. So for our learning again, I decided to plot the graph. So from -3, we got -9. So on the y-axis, I plotted from 1 because we'll use most of the negative side. So to make use of the whole graph paper, okay, first I did a graph of, I gave a title, I put the date, okay, it's going to open downwards, so the graph is y equals minus x squared. Now, on the positive axis, I just gave it 1, 2 boxes for 1, but on the negative axis, I went all the way to -9 because the point I got after I found minus x tells me that I'll have to accommodate up to -1, okay? So you have to know these things. And then on the y-axis, I just used the interval, which is I was given, because it says from -3 to 0 and then to 3, okay. So I could do 4, so 2 boxes for again 1, okay. So now -3 is -9, so that's -9, okay. And then the x-axis is up here, okay. So you can see my x-axis, the positive, y-axis, the positive side is just there, okay, because it's going to open downward. So I have -3, -9, and then I cross that out, label it. I have -2, minus 4. I have minus 1, minus 1, 0, 0, 1 minus 1, 2 minus 4. Okay, this is the positive side of x. And then 3 minus 9. So I try and draw the curve. So let's see. Okay, that is how my curve looks. Okay. So as you can see, it opens downwards. I've labeled the y-axis. I've labeled the x-axis. So, and then I've put a date for my reference. I have a title. So again, this is how my curve looks. My parabola is a downward, and that will be my turning point here. Okay, that will be my highest point, which is my turning point. So now we are going to use the graph to solve the equations. Okay, so these are my coordinates, and remember the x and the y, not the other way around. So plot coordinates on the graph paper. So I've done the graph of y minus x, and it should open downwards because of the negative. I'm expecting it to open downwards. If it didn't do that, then I'll have to quickly find out what I did wrong and then change it before, assuming it was an exam or a test, before I hand over my paper. I've labeled the axis. I've given a title. Okay. So from the graph drawn that we've done, okay, that I've shown you, find the values of s for which it has y has the maximum value. This is also the turning point. So the turning point for y equals minus x will be 0, 0. If you can see, that is the graph here. It turns at this point 0, 0. Okay, it's a free hand. But if you are drawing a quadratic graph, you know it's a curve. If you join it with straight line, I'm sorry, that will not be a curve. So they won't give you the marks. So try and draw a curve as much as possible. And I've been showing you how to, if assuming you can equate it. So you can do it in your head, do it in your answer paper and rub it up. Okay, and then use that to find some of the coordinates, just to make sure that you're accurate. So my turning point is 0, 0. Okay, so when y is 0, x will be 0. So assuming I was asked to give the coordinates, I'll give this. Assuming I was asked to give the value of y when it's greatest, then I'll give x is 0. Or whichever how they answer the question, you just have to find it and then put the answer there. So okay, so it will be either x is 0, y is 0, or the coordinate 0, 0. Now find the values of x when y is negative 4. So here, if you look at y equals minus x squared, okay, when y is negative 4, you have minus x squared. Okay, so x squared will be 4 if you cancel the x out. So x will be plus or minus 4. So you have two values for x, okay? Plus or minus 2, sorry. Yeah, because x squared is 4, so x will be plus or minus the square root of 4, which is 2 or minus 2. So now, because you can do this in your head, or you can do this in pencil on the side of the paper and rub it up, because they haven't asked you to use algebra to do it. Okay, so you know that your curve should go through plus 2 and minus 2 when x is minus 4. So they ask you to find it on the graph. So you come and draw the graph y equals 4. So you realize that when x is minus 2, y is minus 4, and it's one of the points you plotted. And then when x is plus 2, y is minus 4. So for y to be minus 4, that is the line y equals minus 4 here. Here. Okay. Then x should be minus 2 or 2. If they ask you to the values of x, this will be your answer. If they ask you to give coordinates, they are going to write minus 2, 4, and 2, 4. I hope I'm clear on that. We've discussed this several times. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video, and I'll see you in the next.